Um, I took off the morning of a Friday from work, and I decided to do a semi-private and paddled out first thing in the morning. I think it was like 7 o'clock, um, with Aaron, and I do believe Clay came out and Ben was with us as well. And so that was a lot of fun. It was different settings, obviously a much smaller format than Open Surf, because it was just I think there was four of us, and we just sat there and in between waves, it was talking. I got to know Aaron a lot more. I started working with Ben a lot more as well. Got to a more personal relationship. He was telling me about his van life that he had been doing, which is wild in itself. But that day it was a pretty mild day. It wasn't crazy waves, but it was a lot of fun. Um, I was on a foamy again, just because I didn't. It wasn't big enough for anything really. So it was a good day though. I got in, um, got my paddle on, and then left and rushed back to work. Um, you know, Changed in the truck. Still smelled like a wetsuit. Um, when I got to work, I had all the crazy hair and was pouring water out of my nose. And everybody at work was like, "You were weird," but I didn't care because I woke up and did something that I love. It was already a fairly light day, but it put me in a good mood. Nothing could phase me at that point. Um, so that's what I really like about surfing in general. No matter when it is, it puts me in a really good mood. It helps break that monotony of life, the day in, day out grind of work, but then also, you know, no stressors of personal life, with family obligations or, going to the grocery store and more home improvement products or projects, anything like that. It's not my problem right now. I'm in the water. I'm having fun. Right. Yeah. So with the regular open surf, they kind of set me off on my own, and I would either work with some of the guys at our community, like Tommy, or um, yeah, there's a couple people that I would just surf with. Connor, I would just surf with Connor. It wasn't really like an actual instruction session. But on the semi-private, Clay and Aaron were really focused in on some of the things that I needed to work with. Um, I don't think it was really another like deep instruction session though, uh, because they were already to the point where they were confident that I had a good foundation of what I was doing. So um, they were stoked when I got waves, and they would comment about it, and it was pretty cool.
Did you know that they were like, we should make Andrew a surf instructor when he graduates?
I had no idea. There was, I guess there was kind of some like inklings of it, but I didn't really think that it was gonna happen the way that it did. Um, I definitely could tell that they were happy with my progression. Um, they were super enthused about what I was doing. So, and it made their jobs easier too. They didn't have to, um, you know, hit me hard on do your pop up this way, do your, set your stance. They would do it in a much more chill way where they would actually just make fun of me. And that kind of forced me into doing stuff differently. So, like, I know one time I popped up and I did some crazy wide stance because my foot had slipped and I dropped down the face at a really weird angle. And they were just like, "What are you doing?" They're such an interesting dynamic. You've got Clay, he looks like a professional surfer, like he's been doing this for years. I think in that day I found out that he really hasn't been doing it for very long. Um, and then same with Aaron. They're products of the program, and that was really interesting to see. Like, okay, I'm not going through this with nothing to go by. These aren't just regular people off the street that have grown up and surfed all their life and know how to do what they're doing. They're products of the program. Um, so that's really cool. They it opens up a lot of communication because they see the different steps where they were in their progression through the program and afterwards, and they can kind of give those one-liners of try it this way, or I know what you're feeling like right now. Do it a little bit different, and they're very accepting. Uh, their backgrounds are pretty intense with the military. They did some pretty cool stuff. Um, Very different than my background, and but we all know what it was like. Um, so that instant connection that's what really helps out the community. This program is that unknown military or unspoken military connection. So, and I don't have to say, oh, I went on 4 deployments and did all this kind of stuff. We just talk. Yes, wellness this week was fun. This is the first time I got to do some in-person wellness with Elisa. Um, I took some extra time off and did we walked the beach before one of my surf sessions. So it was good. I got to, you know, relax and get into a different headspace that I hadn't tried before surfing. We talked about building your tribe, which is kind of that ongoing theme that already is a part of the program, but it's really zeroing in on the benefits of building out relationships and how they could impact wellness and recovery and the other parts of what we do. Um, so it brought some interesting thoughts up in my head. A lot of it revolved around how I could strengthen my relationship with my daughter as a part of that tribe, as one of the main parts of that tribe. Um, and then some of the challenges that I have as far as maintaining relationships, because I brought that up as one thing that I struggle with. Is those deeper connections. So it was a good outlook. Yeah, I think again it's one of those, as you're talking about stuff, you focus in and you realize it's really, you're putting up barriers against yourself that really shouldn't be there. That doesn't make any sense. So you communicate, you write it down, you talk with somebody else, get their perspective about it, and you realize that just putting yourself out there is going to work. Sometimes you're going to fail, but you get to learn from that experience and try again. Um, there's nothing wrong with trying and not succeeding. The downfall to it is if you don't try again, you're never going to get anywhere. Yeah, so while the concepts came through, with the wellness, a lot of the other aspects of the program really reinforced building the tribe. So these personal relationships that I ended up forcing myself into have actually worked. I may not spend a lot of time outside of Warrior Surf with some folks, but when I'm in when I'm in the community, I'm participating. I'm instructing now, doing the extracurriculars like the auction. I'm participating a lot more. We did the Wahine contest a few months ago, and I was there and hung out with friends. Um, Even to the point where when Ben actually left the night before he left, we went out and hung out at the bar because it was the coffee roasters guys, their 1 year celebration. So everybody from the program ended up showing up, and that was kind of Ben's send off. And that was really cool because I never would have done that. Um, you know, with these people that I've only known for a couple months, um, you know, and I wanted to go. I said, absolutely, I want to send him off. He's going to have a killer trip. And, you know, I had that really good connection with him because I was surfing with him almost every single week. Parting thoughts for week 6: don't overdo it. You know, learn what your body is telling you. Don't overdo it. There's time. Um, you know, you only have a set amount of yoga sessions that you have to do. You've got all the wellness modules that you got to do, but there's enough time throughout that 12-week course, you know, to be able to get through all of them. And the same thing with surf. Find what works for you and don't push yourself, because if you push yourself, you're putting too much stress on your body and on your mind, and you may not realize all the benefits for it. You know, it's supposed to be a relaxed setting for you to get to know yourself and your body and others, you know, building out community.
Damn, Andrew, that sounds like balance.